Hi homies, it is your homegirl Natalie. Today I am going to be showing you some apartments because yes, your girl went apartment hunting. I've been living in this apartment since 2018 and although I love it, I just need something that's bigger. I am with child. He is in this crate right now. And I mean my dog. I don't know if you're new here, but I have a dog. I don't mean a child. First we're going to get into what happened when I was looking at apartments. There are some things that I feel like people should know. It was a lot different than the previous time. I didn't get to see as many places, and that's just because I ran into something which I thought was just like a me problem, but it turns out it's happened to other friends. So basically I would message a realtor and I would text a real estate agent or I would just call them up. What would end up happening is that they're like, sorry, the landlord's not renting to foreigners. And I'm like, why? I have a visa. I have an ARC. They're like, oh, well, because you can't be registered. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't be registered? There is my records right there. Like, what? So that was like one excuse that I got. And then when I went to go apartment hunting with a friend, literally the real estate agent was just like, yeah, no, the person doesn't want to rent out to foreigners. You know, we're like, that's discrimination. And you know what they say? No, that's not discrimination. That's just how they feel. What? But there's no reason for you not to. So that's discrimination. You're discriminating against a group of people just because you feel like it. Like there's not even a reason. That's something that's happened a number of times. And I don't know if it's because the whole pandemic situation that we had over here, people were leaving or they were getting kicked out. Or other times where I look at a place, they're like, okay, well, you need to schedule an appointment to look at it. Yeah, we're going to call you and let you know. And I'm like, all right, great. Thank you. I never got a phone call, so I never got to see the place. And places were a lot more expensive. What I wanted to do was like 10,000 down, 900, I guess maybe to 1,000. I thought that was gonna be enough to find a place, but like no, it was super freaking hard. There was not a lot of places that were like worth that money. So all in all, I'm still here and that's okay. What I am gonna do, I think, is I'm gonna remodel everything. The current situation of apartment hunting here in Korea, it's not hopeless to find an apartment. I've had friends who have found apartments. However, there are definitely going to be some things that you have to be willing to compromise, whether that is it's farther from the station or it's in an area that you weren't expecting to be in. Okay, so before we get to the actual meat and potatoes, is that the saying? We're going to go into the words you should know when looking for an apartment, the apartments that I looked at, just some areas you could look for potentially like a cheaper rent. And then we're actually going to go apartment hunting together through an app. So let's get started. I have a whole video actually talking way more in detail about apartment hunting, but there is something that I just wanted to state, which for me is very important. What way is the apartment facing? The word is 방향, and that is just a direction of the actual apartment. Dong, which is east, Seoul, which is west, Nam is south, Bok is north. So you'll see things like Namdong, southeast, Bokso, northwest. So why is that important? It's going to tell you at what times are you actually going to get sunlight in your house. I love south-facing apartments. That is that you get sunlight the whole day, sunrise to sunset. North would be the opposite way. The sun would be behind you, so you get more indirect sunlight. So you just got to be a little bit careful about that. Let's say you're on the second floor and you have more buildings in front of you, honey, you are going to get no sunlight. No sunlight at all whatsoever. And for me personally, that would just be so detrimental to my mental health. Your apartment is east-facing. That means you get more sunlight in the morning time. If your apartment is west facing, then that means you get sunlight when it's actually setting. Depends, like if you're an early bird, we look for something that's either east, southeast, or south. If you're more like a night owl or you like the evening time and stuff, southwest or just west. I guess if you don't like sunlight, which I do have a couple of friends that don't, then yeah, a north facing apartment would be good. So just keep that in mind. And another thing that I'm going to be saying here is pyong, and that's essentially the word that they use to measure a room. How I like to think of it is like how many people like fit. So like 8 pyong, I was like, okay, 8 people can fit. All right, so now let's get into the apartments. For those of you who are new to this channel and you don't know what kind of apartment I live in a bokchon, which is essentially a loft, but not in the style if you're in the States you would think a loft is. Yeah, it's not kind of like that. If you've never seen my apartment before, I do have an apartment tour tour that you could check out right here. And I don't have written down how big it is, but I'm sure it'll be right here. I want to say it's probably like 6 or 7 pyong. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the apartments that I looked at. I will say that these apartments weren't apartments I was actually looking at to move into. I went with a friend while she was moving and we were just looking at apartments together, and I thought, like, why not film it? For apartment number 1, just for this first one, I'm not gonna tell you how much it is right now. Okay, so this apartment is 60.52 meters squared. So livable space is 25.55 meters squared, which comes out to 7.72 pyong. This also was a bokchun. Okay, this was the penthouse, and this actually came with a rooftop, your own private rooftop, which was great. Really like about this is the fact that it had the rooftop. The second floor was a floor you could actually stand on, which was amazing. You know how much this costs? Okay, let me tell you. 30,000 down, and monthly is 1,250. I'm saying 30,000 like dollars. Obviously it's in Korean won, but I'm just gonna say dollars so it's just a little bit easier. The maintenance fee being anywhere from $80 to $125 additionally. Now, maintenance fees doesn't necessarily mean everything. Maintaining the actual apartment complex, probably the elevator as well, but yeah. And this apartment was also east facing. Apartment was, you know, cute. I love the fact that it had a rooftop. However, that price, that is so much for so little. I would say it's probably smaller than my own. Who designed this? Because I don't know, I feel like there wasn't a lot of like actual livable space. Oh, and this apartment does come with a TV, which is nice. I mean, I don't know if that's worth the price tag that it comes with, like just buy yourself a TV. I also want to apologize for how shaky this camera footage is from these apartments, and that's just because how people in Korea apartment hunt is that they don't ever really take videos. Ever. They literally like walk in, okay, good, thank you, and leave. Places actually ask, why are you taking videos? Granted, I'm coming in with my DSLR. Maybe if I was just filming on my phone, it would have been different. But like, I'm not gonna remember how an apartment looks like. I'm not gonna remember how I look like in that apartment. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, real estate agents, they be using that wide angle lens like I do. I know those pictures are a lie, so why are you trying to lie to me like that? I just think it's really important to take photos and videos of a place that you might live in for a year. Like, it's really important. And there were other apartments that we had visited. However, it was either one, they were already occupied, like someone was already living there, so obviously you don't want to like disrespect their privacy and just, you know, start filming. Or 2, I actually filmed it on my phone. I lost all photos and videos that were on my phone, so that's why there's only 3 apartments that we're seeing today, so I apologize for that. All right, so now for apartment 2, called up this real estate agent like, hey, do you have any apartments available in the area? Oh yeah, I have one right now, like gonna show it. We're like, okay, and we're rushing over there, and I'm like, oh, this looks familiar. I wonder if they're gonna show you this apartment that they showed me like last year. Yeah, it was the same apartment. This is the second time you're seeing this apartment, maybe. And that apartment with the weird stairs. So this apartment is 45 meters squared with 27.35 meters square of actual livable space. It says that the lower floor is 8.3 pyong and the upper floor is 4 pyong. Now this one is also south facing. So for this apartment was 10,000 down and $1,000 per month. Definitely think the downstairs, like, you have a lot more space to walk around in, which is great. But again, the actual layout of the apartment is just so dumb, freaking dumb. I don't know why those stairs are there. They should have put it off to the side or something, because it just completely breaks up the room in all the wrong ways. The real estate lady was like, do you have any pets? And my friend was like, no. She's like, oh, okay, because you can't have any pets here. I remember when I went like the year prior, when we asked like, oh, can you have a pet? They're like, yeah, it's okay. So sometimes, you know, things change. Just be aware of that when you go apartment hunting. However, I will say, you're like in an office tell, most of the time landlords or landladies don't actually live there. However, if you're searching and you want to live in like a villa or something, most of the times they do, so you can't get away with the same stuff. Yeah, the second apartment, I mean, like, looking at it again, what I love about that apartment is how much storage space there is. I personally like office tells because they normally do come with a lot of storage space. There are so many apartments here where you could see that it's like a big blank canvas. But you also got to think, oh wait, I got to buy storage space, I got to buy this. And after you put all of that, how much actual free space will you have? Maybe not much. So that's always just something that I like to keep in mind as someone who can't afford a super humongous place. Having storage space, already built-in storage space into your apartment is so useful, because one, you want to be moving with all that furniture. It just helps maximize your space. I mean, that's why I feel like a lot of people are very surprised to see how much stuff I actually have in my apartment, and that's all thanks to the fact that I have so much storage in literally like every nook and cranny of my apartment. And for third and final apartment, I know it's only 3 apartments I'm showing you, and I'm so sorry, it's been hard. This apartment is $10,000 down, $1,000 monthly, and $100 for maintenance. The size of this place is 23.72 meters squared for the whole space, only 15.03 meters squared in terms of livable space, and only 4.54 pyong. But this was south facing. The actual view, there's no building, so you would literally have sunlight the whole day, which was beautiful. But yes, that apartment was small. That apartment was so small. However, where it was located was a very like popular area of Seoul. So maybe that's why, I guess given the work life that's here, or just the life in general, or your average single person, Korea made their apartments are basically kind of just like, okay, well, they just need a place to sleep. They're not gonna care if it's big, if it feels nice and cozy, like they're not gonna care. They just need a place to sleep. That's it. No, honey, I want a nice, inviting apartment. What the hell? What I did really like about that apartment actually though was that the walls were white, and it makes such a difference. I mean, it was really cute, and the one that we saw was showroom, so there wasn't actually anyone living there. There was one thing that was quite interesting with that apartment. It came with like this wardrobe, put like your clothes in there and it'll get rid of all the pollution or like yellow dust or whatever, all of that stuff, because we're like, you know, in the pandemic era, so we want everything like taken off of our clothes. But I mean, it was interesting. This is also a brand new building. Okay, so now let's go into some apartment tips. Number 1, if you're looking for a cheap apartment, there are a couple different areas I think you can go to, because it's like so like an older area. This whole area of like Mokdong, Yeongdeunpo-gu office, Shindorim, that whole like area, generally speaking, is cheaper. Obviously, like the further you get away from Seoul, the cheaper you're gonna find apartments. Those are just things that you have to think about if you want to compromise or not. If you go super up north, like yeah, of course you could definitely find some really great cheap apartments. Another area that is kind of like up and coming, and I have seen places for, is Suso and Garak Mountain, like that kind of area down there. I have seen like newer apartments kind of pop up around that area, which I think you guys can check out. Another tip is whatever area you want to live in, maybe you like just want to live close to it, look like 2 to 3 stations away from it. You know, you don't always have to be in these like hot spots of the city to really enjoy your neighborhood. My friends are always like, you know, you love saying by your neighborhood, and I'm like, listen, it's not to say like, yes, like I am repping my neighborhood, like this is me. It's not necessarily that, but what my neighborhood gives me, okay, is what I need. I also got a really cheap fruit market by me, and honestly, that in itself is a luxury, and it's a good area to be living in, especially with Albi. So yeah. Oh, and the third one is, please remember, figure out which like way your apartment faces, north, south, east, west. Never eat soggy waffles. That's how I remembered it. How did you remember it? How did they teach you to remember it? It's really important. Honestly, I had no idea what that was until I didn't have sunlight. So sad. Another tip that I really like to do when you're looking at apartments, okay, like my apartment, this is concrete, okay? I'd be singing, jamming, dancing, screaming. And I've only gotten a complaint once, and that was like the 2nd month I moved in. Other than that, bro, and no one says a damn thing, and that's just because my walls are concrete. A little tip for you is that if you're looking at an apartment and if the next unit is free, let someone else go in there and like scream or like knock on the door or do whatever, and see if you can hear them. And if you could hear them clearly by the time that they're just like, that means the walls are gonna be super thin. And so now we're gonna go through an apartment together. I'm gonna go through Naver Budongsan. Filters are, so what I always look for is Wolse, which is monthly. And the next thing is all the different like housing styles. 20,000 down, girl, I don't got that money, but let's say I do, okay? And now this right here is how many pyong or how many meters. Next thing, I know what I want. I want a Bokchon. I mean, should I be looking at that? Okay, I'm just gonna do south. Wow, just 5 places, that's it? All of Seoul? Oh, okay, no, she got more. $1,000 and like 100, no. That 1,000 actually means 10,000 down. That 100 means 1,000 a month. This looks old, but that's another thing. You could try to look for an apartment that's generally like new. Oh, wow. That's not bad. Oh, it's, where is it? A very awkward area to live in, I feel like. You gotta walk a lot. Okay, look at this apartment. It looks like, yeah, this place is big. However, no storage space. You're gonna have to buy a lot of stuff, which I do not like. So let's look at the area I told y'all to look at. Oh wow, this has like a nice little hallway. You got a closet. You got a little area that definitely looks small. I can tell you from here, yeah, that is tiny. But I mean, that's closed off. You got a whole little closet space. That is a lot. And you would be on the 12th floor. You're on the top floor, baby. Right here, this thing, Gwanlibi Poham, that is what your maintenance fee includes. So your maintenance fee would include internet and TV, and your maintenance fee would be $100. See how far it is from the station. It's kind of good that you would be connected to a couple different stations. Ooh, look at this. No, see how they be fooling you? Because you see this and you're like, wow, this is so nice and big. Yeah, but look at the actual livable space. See that livable space? Only 5 pyong? Hell no. Wow, 30,000 down 14. Okay, literally. Oh, wow. Okay, wow. Okay, what I don't like is that those windows are so small. Okay, let's see here. Oh my God, look at this. 107. Oh, that fell. Where's that? Where is that? Gangnam. Okay, she a little walk, but look at what you can get. Wow, 20,000 down and almost 2,000 a month. Wow, 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 wow. Damn. Oh, is that a veranda? No, that's just your window. No. Wow, wow. Wow, 14 pyong. That's nice. Alrighty, so I hope y'all had fun on that last little part. You know, we can all dream. I know, like, when I'm apartment hunting, I will spend, like, just so much time. Like, right before I go to bed, I'm just, like, checking places. And that's the other thing with Korea. It's like, if you find a place, you have that day, maybe that hour, to decide on it. Because if not, too slow, someone else is gonna get it. Things can pop up one day and then be gone the afternoon. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Again, I'm definitely thinking about remodeling this whole apartment, which I feel is gonna take me like a hot minute, but I really wanna do it. I really wanna paint my walls, but I don't know if that's just like worth it. Like, if I'm just gonna live here for 1 more year. A year is a long time. I really want to. Alrighty, homies, I will catch you guys in the next one. Please be safe out there and enjoy your day. Bye.